This is Positive Pulse. I'm your host, Rashid Holder, and today we can get real active. We can even do some moves. We can do a little spinny session with none other than the cultural cardio ambassador himself, Mr. Spinny in the dance.
Yes, Spinny in the dance. Talk to me.
This is Positive Pulse. I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for coming out today. And we're going to talk about all that's happening with cultural cardio in Barbados, overseas, and a little more in the communities.
Okay.
How that sound?
That sounds good. That sounds beautiful. I like it. I like it. I love it.
Listen, we might even burn some calories too.
Okay then. Drop and give me 20, man. Get back up, man. I ain't see. Just back and swear. Just back and swear.
Hi, I'm Rashid Holder, and I am your host for Positive Pulse. And today, we will be speaking with none other than Barbados' own cultural cardio ambassador himself, Mr. Spinny in the dance. Not another word in English. Welcome, Spinny, to Positive Pulse. What's happening, my brother?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Let me say Spinny the dance. I don't do anything without introing myself like that because that's one of my taglines. Thanks for having me.
Spinny in the dance.
Yeah, Spinny in the dance.
So, let me get straight into the whole cultural cardio movement.
Yeah.
How did that come about for you?
Okay, I'm a certified fitness instructor, and anything I do, I like to make sure that it is fun, it is attractive. So everybody be doing the running, and they had the popular class Zumba.
And the spitting classes, but
and if you know the history of myself, I used to be a part of a group called Spinny, which was a dancing group.
Yeah.
We used to walk up and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Let me fuse my talent with my certification, and then that's how I come up with the class. The cultural cardio session is an aerobic session which has walking up in it as well.
well, they say walking up is we culture, but at the same time, you took a spin on that, no pun intended, and transformed it into a movement where people can come, have fun, exercise, a lot of positive vibe, a lot of positive energy.
Yeah.
What did you see happening within your community that you thought there was a need for cultural cardio sessions?
So if you guys can recall, at one point there was something called Barbados Moves, which was a program going all over Barbados doing fitness. And one time I was booked in St. Peter. And when I did it, the guy in charge, he was like, yo, we have tried hiking, we've tried so many things to try to get the young people of Barbados active. Because when we get to a certain age, you yourself start to get active because you want to remain healthy, you want to be fit. But when you're young, you don't want to be studying things like that.
Yeah.
So they were like, yo, Spinny, we believe what you're doing would attract the young people. And what he suggested, it worked because, as you can see, like up to this day, I go into primary schools, I go into secondary schools, I travel the world. Like, people really love the product. People always say, yo, Spinny, one thing I love about this, especially when I'm overseas, you made me feel like I was in Barbados. You made this feel so comfortable. It doesn't feel like a boot camp, but this is so much fun. But when I check my watch, I burn 600 calories. I don't burn that much when I'm running, so this is where we're going.
What impact are you looking to have with cultural cardio throughout the various communities here in Barbados?
I want to get everybody active. Everybody take responsibility for their health. Don't ever think that because you're doing my sessions, that's all you need to do. It's just to complement your fitness journey. So even though you can come and do a session with me once or twice a week, again, as we speak about the communities, at one stage I used to do a class every Monday in St. Peter. Every Tuesday used to be down Sheraton, Wednesday used to be in St. George, and Thursdays used to be back again. And then on Sundays, I would do a random pop-up in other areas. So I don't just believe in just doing it in my neighborhood alone.
Yeah.
Take it to everybody in Barbados and make sure that everyone gets a taste and everyone gets active and everyone have a grand time at the same time.
Now, I want to tie this into what's going on in Barbados at present. We're seeing a high prevalence of violence, especially amongst the youth. How do you think what you're doing right now with this cultural cardio initiative can positively impact them and, you know, like kind of guide them away from what we consider as mischievous and those type of events?
Yeah, like what I can say is I see so many youngsters reaching out to me. Like, I don't know if you guys see that I have a youngster with me that
Archie
actually call himself Spinny Jr.
Yeah.
And I always like to highlight to the people the positive things that youngsters are doing, because we normally like to highlight the negative, but we look past when people are trying to do positive stuff.
Yeah.
So like, it really, really, really encourages, it finds something for people to do. You know, there's something to say, idle hands.
Correct.
You understand?
So you're giving them another avenue, basically, where they can come express themselves freely and still have fun.
Yeah.
And at the same time, move them away from a lot of deviant behavior that we're seeing, especially amongst the young males.
Yeah, because one of the major things that I also love to push in class, no judgment zone.
Yeah.
So, like, I even have people who are extremely out of timing, got 2 left feet and stuff like that.
They got 2 left feet.
I won't say that, but we still make sure to encourage everybody. It's beginner friendly, the term to use. It's a session that everyone can follow along. I make sure to keep the moves super simple so that you don't got to think to yourself, yo, I can't dance, so I can't come.
So anybody could be
a participant can be a participant in this.
And I think that's, you know, one of the reasons that people gravitate towards the program so much, where you feel included, and as you say, it's very beginner friendly. So you can always come in at various levels and still be an active participant, right? So one of the things we want to find out then is, who do you consider to be the main beneficiaries of cultural cardio?
Everybody. Like, I have a vision where I do my cultural cardio sessions on Farley Hill or Kensington Oval, and we have everybody in Barbados. So for dancers, for fitness people, for every single person can benefit from cultural cardio.
And what is the youngest demographic that you've catered to? I know you said you go into, you know, primary schools.
I do nursery schools and stuff, like they're 3, 4, and I mean, when I go into the nursery schools, they'd be like, Spinny here, like, and then you have done Q in the community and stuff like that. I even looking to do some 50+ sessions soon.
Right. So the whole thing about, you know, the Positive Pulse initiative is that, you know, we want to highlight, you know, events where persons are definitely having a positive impact on their community. Now, if you're going into, you know, various schools, have you been able to see any like change in behavior amongst the young people that participate over a period of time at your sessions?
When I first started, some of the schools would have been shy.
Hesitant.
But now when I go now, like, even when I walk and come into the school, everybody be like, yo, Spinny here, and the games teachers just be like, how you get them to do jumping jacks? How you get them to do squats? Them no volunteer and do burpees.
Yeah.
We cannot get these children to do that, but there's something about your energy, Spinny, that the people love. So it's like, that is why I continue to go to the schools every term, like, without fail.
Why did you choose to do it in this way?
In this way,
as opposed to, as you say, you're a certified trainer. Obviously, as a former member of Spain Pooch Inc., you know, you could go in the party, you know, to enjoy yourself, gyrate. But why do you think this is the best way to actually get people to be active?
Well, I wouldn't say that I would have known for sure this is the best way. But as I said, like, anything I do, I have to enjoy doing what I'm doing. Yeah. Right? And I love crop over. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I love our culture. I love the music. I love the way we just dance. Everything I love about it. So what I did was create a class that will reflect on that. There will be certain classes where we get people lined up behind me and we will pretend that we're on the road going down Spring Garden.
Yeah,
And
the conga line.
yeah, but all the movement,
Yeah.
still burning calories. We moving all the time. Because one of the rules of the class also is we never stop moving. So even if I forget an exercise, we go to this position we call home.
Yeah.
But home don't mean going in your cars. We just be jumping from side to side. So you gotta jump from side to side until I'm ready for you again. We keep
Yeah.
moving all the time. The name cultural cardio, Jess came up with that name because it was like, all right, I don't want to use a term that has already been used.
Yeah.
So we know that I already had a workout, that had similar stuff like that. And I was like, yo, this is cultural. And she was like, yo, what you think about cultural cardio?
Yeah.
And then she was like, you know what, hashtag that. And we was like, you know what, yeah.
It has that element of, like corporate appeal.
Exactly.
So when you want to get, some players involved to come on board and support the initiative, it doesn't sound, derogatory.
Yeah. And the thing is, at first also, a lot of people would have been down to it because people would have been hearing the walking up.
Yeah.
But they're not seeing it. When people actually come and experience the session for themselves or see the sessions, they go like, wow, I didn't know it was this amazing. I didn't know it was this engaging.
Yeah. Tell me, what is the biggest challenge that you've faced thus far in terms of even winning over persons when it comes to cultural cardio or just in general?
The biggest challenge, what would I say is the biggest challenge? Certainly the biggest challenge would be getting support from persons because a lot of people, everyone doesn't have the same vision that you have.
Yeah.
So you might be able to go and explain what you're looking to do, but a person might not think that it would work.
Yeah.
So if you was to ask you, yo, when Spinny started a few years ago, did you expect that Spinny would be able to travel the world and represent Barbados doing this? I could bet the answer would be no. Like when I actually feature on other fitness cards, they always put, especially if Nadi's there with me, they always put us as the headline act. And when we ask how many years were you in fitness, people will go 15.
Yeah.
And we say that we only start in 2020, everyone goes like, whoa.
Do you think that cultural cardio is getting the recognition that it deserves?
I would, yeah, for sure. To me, it's getting the recognition because up to recently I was in Martinique, and a French-speaking country. Is not to say English is the second language. I don't understand nothing that nobody in Martinique saying. But when they introduced us and we came onto stage, everybody was screaming, and that blew me away.
Yeah.
Lyric, write a song, and they say that it was a tribute to Spinny. Again, the cultural cardio sessions. The song is strictly about exercising squat and go down with them good knees, you understand?
Yeah.
Spinny, Spinny, Spinny. So for me to say that it is not being recognized, I would have to be one of the most ungrateful people on the planet.
I come dressed to do a class today. I ain't sure if you got one happening today, but if you do, we can go and jump into some cultural cardio today, right? Spinny, Mr. Cultural Cardio himself, I want to thank you for joining us here today on Positive Pulse.
Thanks for having me.
Keep up the wonderful work, the positive stuff that you're doing to impact the communities and just the country at large.
Yeah.
And just be good and be safe, my brother. My name is Rashid Holder. This has been Positive Pulse. So stay tuned for more because we ain't done yet.